we're back with the Ashke Jeep fiasco here, trying to figure out what's wrong with the wiring. And we'll just go back here real quick. Some of you have seen this because some of you helped, I guess, turn this mess of spaghetti into something that was functioning at some point. Similar over here. Not quite as bad, but it's all been hacked up. I don't know why someone would do that, but now you can see this is the kind of stuff that somebody did when they were building this. This was pinching this wire harness because they took the outer panel off of this XJ that was here, cut out the stock inner, and welded this there, I guess, to give it, because it was probably flat. I think the stock one has a curve to it to give it a bigger. So they've welded the old panel, booger tacked it. None of these even penetrate. Now the thing you're gonna find in this is stuff like this. This is a piece of wire that I pulled out of here. You can see it's just burnt, it's melted. And here's a pile of the wires that I've taken out. Now I think I'm working here. I don't know what, whoever did all this wiring was something else. Now, I don't think there's a single piece of wire in this mess that's longer than 2.5 feet. So what they did was they took every broken piece they could and just did a really quick tie it together. And it just changed as multiple colors. See, look, I just pulled that apart. Everything, it just comes right apart. You can see this power feed here. That's how they're getting power to all these switches that used to be on all the lights. The wires were pinched, cut through. Look, this one's melted. I don't know how this thing did not burn to the ground. It really perplexes me of how that did not happen. But it's just every little strand of wire they could find. It's like they went around in someone's trash bin and just took out every little piece of wire they could find and just twisted it all together and then put some really crappy tape on it. But I think I figured out why someone had to go through and pull these wires. So in the process of removing and getting all this stuff out, let's see if I can get in here and get some light on it. I found this. Let's see if I can get a good picture.
You can change it to a work light.
This is the harness that goes to the rear. These wires are all cut. There's a bunch of them. You probably can't see it that well. Let me see if I can. A bunch of them are frayed. And look, you can see the license plate back there. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, that's a license plate stopping everything from coming in from the front wheel. And I'm assuming it got pinched or someone rubbed it. But these wires are probably why the rear lights are not working. So I'm going to try to put these all back together and see if I can get this thing functional. This is one of the worst vehicles I've seen, wiring wise. That's just been hacked up, stuff added. It's bad. But, all right, it's one more piece of the puzzle. It's another day. We're back on Ashke's Jeep, trying to get him ready to go. I'm kind of in a shadow here, so it's not really picking this up very well. But as you can, if you can see, I can't really see anything. At least not on the camera, the viewfinder. The wiring's fixed. All the stock wiring is now working. Yeah, I know, we'll get a better shot over here. We don't have any other wires. And then we had to fix some of the wires and buy some bulb sockets to fix some of this. But we don't have any extra wires running through this Jeep anymore. All the mess of wiring is gone. It's all gone. I ripped the rat's nest out. You saw earlier most of it sitting on the ground. There was a bunch more. And the whole reason that this was happening was like I showed you earlier, these wires. Showed you them, you've seen them. Now, after I fixed all that, I went and tested the back, and I still wasn't getting power, and I said, Ashke, go through the fuse block and make sure every fuse is working. So he went through the fuse block and he found a blown fuse. It was a 30 amp fuse. This fuse, I wish I had it. I don't know where it went.
It's around here somewhere. I'll find it and we can record it later.
It was completely melted. The whole exterior of the fuse was completely melted. The fuse finally popped. And it turns out that was the fuse for the running lights and a number of other things. And it's supposed to be a 15 amp fuse instead of the 30. So someone put a 30 in there because it kept popping the 15s, obviously, because it was shorted out. And
probably because of that mess right there.
Oh, that's exactly why it was. But they weren't smart enough to say, hey, I shouldn't do that because when you put bigger amp fuses in spots they're not supposed to be, you catch your car on fire.
Sure,
but we put the
allowing much more amperage than it's supposed to be
yes.
allowed.
So we put the 15 amp fuse in, and guess what? The wiring all works.
Stocked like it's supposed to.
Yes, everything. It all functions, minus those because nobody cares about Windows.
Well, we haven't tried it yet. I bet it's that.
Put it down. No, go down. It just needs help. There, look, it's down. Look, it works. You said they didn't work before?
No, they work. They're just slow. I'm guessing another one of those fuses is blown out.
No. If they're working, there's no blown fuse. It's just you've got low voltage right now, and you're just running off the battery, and your alternator doesn't put out very good voltage to begin with. Stop messing with it.
Well, that one locked. But it doesn't want to.
Anyway, so we fixed a bunch of stuff. We've almost got it together. I think all we have left is to bolt these lights back on, make sure that front light is bolted in.
We also need the
Wait, what did you say it used to do? You did something and the wiper would turn on?
Yeah, if you turn on the left turn signal, the wiper motor would come on.
I fixed that too. Boom.
Or the windshield washer box motor. You'd hear it go wee, 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 wee.
I fixed that
with
too.
the turn signal.
See, it doesn't do that anymore. I fix it all. It's easy. It's easy.
That 30 amp has got to be around here somewhere.
It fell. I don't know if it fell in the heap or I don't see it on the ground. It would have stood out pretty well, but we still got to put the pan on, fill the transmission. All the other fluids have been changed. It looks like, I can't tell if that's dripping or not. It may be an old drip.
It's dripping.
Out of which one? The top or the
Wait,
bottom?
what?
The transfer case. There's a little drop on the bottom of the transfer case.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the transmission.
Well, yeah, the transmission's dripping because there's no pan. Anyway, keep an eye on the transfer case. You may have to tighten one of those up. I think it's a 30 millimeter. I've got a 30
Or
millimeter.
the crescent wrench.
Well, now the problem is you can't get a good grip on it. Anyway, we're going to get this wrapped up and get this thing finished. And we had it running yesterday. It did not overheat. So far it's looking like it might be able to drive without stopping. Where's the screw for your light over here you took out yesterday?
I don't know.
Do we just need to find a screw? I'll have to throw a screw in there. I don't know what you did with it.
There were two of them.
You with the cussing. Right here, we'll get these put in and we'll show you they all work here in a minute. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.